It's noon here in Ventnor City, New Jersey, and our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. And this is CarEdge Live for Monday, October 27th, with your hosts, me, Ray, here in Ventnor City, New Jersey, and, well, Zach, who set a personal best record running the Marine Corps Marathon yesterday in Washington, D.C. in 3 hours, 26 minutes, and 22 seconds.
Nope.
What was
No, actually, it was not 3:26 that Strava runs long. It was, or actually, the course was different than what was on the watch. It was 3:23, Pops. 3:23. But thank you for the kind words either way. Today's show, folks, brought to you by us, CarEdge.com. We've got a limited offer going on right now. Year-end car buying. Things are starting to heat up. We're going to talk today about why car prices, unfortunately, seem to keep going up and uncover one of those dirty little secrets of the car business. But for those of you that are in the market between now and the end of the year, it is officially the season to get the best deal on a new or used car. And we are offering a $300 discount off of our car buying services and 30% off CarEdge Pro back on CarEdge.com. Learn more about those and see how we can help you. Go for it, Pops.
You are a little echoey, so I'm not sure that your audio is set correctly, but I just thought I'd bring it to your attention.
Okay, appreciate that. Let me know in the chat, folks, if anything's feeling echoey and things are set up correctly over here. Let us know in the chat if we are okay. Maybe, Dad, if you want to just do a quick refresh and see if it feels better, I can continue with the show for a hot second here. You want to try that, Pops?
Yeah, what do you want me to do?
Just refresh your browser.
Refresh my browser. Not sure how I do that. Reload?
Yeah, you reload. He figured out how to do it. Oh, it is echoey. Okay, interesting.
Add me to the stage.
No, people are saying I'm echoey, Pops.
See? Yeah, buddy. It's not
all right, my turn to reload. All right, well, whatever. Let's kick off the show, and then I will come back over in a second here, Pops. The thing that we were going to talk about, destination fees increasing significantly. Automotive News pulled together all of the data. I'll pull it up on the screen here, the chart, Dad. I'm going to do a quick refresh. Why is this the secret reason why car prices keep going up?
Because it is a way to manipulate the price without manipulating the price. So what do I mean by that? Well, you can keep your MSRP, your base MSRP on the vehicle, with a small or no cost increase, but the total MSRP of the vehicle could go up by $500, $600, $700, $800 based on the fact that the destination charge went up significantly. And so it is a way to, hide the cost of tariffs without saying it's the cost of tariffs. Now, from what I understand, I am not the brightest man in the world, but from what I understand, fuel costs haven't gone up significantly. We do know that maintenance costs for vehicles and insurance.
Well, do you mind if we start though? Actually, just can we stay on destination fee for a second here? Just how much it's gone up?
Yeah.
Okay, look at the chart. We're talking about, this is showing you year over year, 2021 to 2025. So over the past 4 years, how much the destination charge has gone up. Look at that, guys. 26.9% is the increase that we've seen on average for these destination charges. So before you go into even other places, Pops, let's just focus here for a second. This is one of those secret reasons why car prices are going up. You've seen a 27% increase in the price for the destination charge that the manufacturer charges, that hidden cost like you were talking about.
Yeah, that's the industry average. If you scroll up, you'll see some brands are well below that, but other brands, particularly Stellantis, we've seen increases in destination charges in the last 4 or 5 years. For instance, Hyundai's gone up 29.4%. Porsche, 47.8%. Stellantis, 34.8%. Subaru 31.4%. Those are significantly above the industry average.
Ford and GM, 39% for both of them. And we're talking about now the average destination charge for Ford being almost $2,000. Over at Stellantis, to your point, Dad, the average destination charge, $2,120.
It is a way for them to ultimately increase the bottom line MSRP, the total MSRP on the vehicle, without having increased the base MSRP, or only moderately having increased the base MSRP. But the ultimate outcome is that the total MSRP with destination charges is much higher than it had been. And the total price increase that way ends up being much higher. But they can show statistically that the base MSRP did not go up all that much. Jerry says it best. It's masking. They are simply masking the price increase by showing it somewhere other than as a price increase on the vehicle itself.
Now, a lot of the most popular vehicles that folks are out there buying from those domestics are pickup trucks. And we have now seen at Chevy, Ford, and Ram the destination charge on their mid-duty, full-size pickup trucks, $2,595. You and I covered this when GM was the first brand that announced that those year-over-year, model year changeover destination charges were going up so much. And we went on we did it that day in the video. I mean, there's like a General Motors dealership, a Chevy dealership 20 miles away from where these vehicles get final assembly, yet that vehicle still has a $2,600 destination charge. It makes no sense. And so this is one of those secret reasons why you keep seeing car prices go up. And to Jerry's point and to your point, it can also be masked fairly easily. You can say, to your point, Dad, the base MSRP hasn't gone up. It's stayed the same. Just the destination charge over the last 4 years has gone up, drum roll please, 27%. It's absolute lunacy. And this is like the equivalent, I think, Dad, of the dealer dock fee, but for the manufacturer. It has no real purpose. It's just some arbitrary number. It's extra profit for the manufacturer. The dealer doesn't make more money when the destination charge goes up. It's the profit for the manufacturer.
It's not as if you can negotiate the destination charge.
Yeah, that was one of the questions we just got right here. Can it be negotiated?
No, the destination charge is the destination charge. That's part and parcel of the final MSRP, but that portion of it is not negotiable. So can you negotiate the price of the vehicle? Yes, you can. Can you say, well, I won't pay for that destination fee? You can say it. You're not going out with a vehicle. You're not going to buy a vehicle when you say that, because that is not a negotiable item. And so when the manufacturer increases on average 27% the cost of destination over the last 4 years, that is a way to compensate for whatever tariff costs these manufacturers are eating. We've had this conversation. There's only so long that these manufacturers can go where their profit margins have dropped from 10 to 12% to 5 to 6% before the stockholders are saying, we need to be closer to the 10 to 12%.
Yeah, for sure, Pops. I also want to be very clear here because it's an opportunity to get very confused. You negotiate off of the MSRP.
Yes.
The base MSRP that we're referring to is before the destination charge. So you know what, Dad? Let's actually do this. Let's.
It's also before any factory installed accessories.
Let me do this.
Programs or
everyone. Let me do it, Pops. Everyone go to CarEdge.com, click on research. From research, click on free window sticker. I'm going to take just the example VIN that we have here. Put a VIN in here for a free window sticker.
I can't wait.
Well, let's do it. Let's take this thing out of obscurities and make it very real. What we're talking about, so this particular window sticker shows an $81,043 MSRP. What we're talking about is before this is added, We're calling that, we're just, our nomenclature today, we're calling that the base MSRP. It's before that delivery and processing and handling fee is added. In this case, on this particular vehicle, what was it? This was a Sequoia Capstone. Holy cow, an expensive Toyota. There's an $1,850 delivery fee. In Toyota's case, delivery, processing, and handling fee. I just want to be very clear. That $81,043 below it, you're going to negotiate that. That's the MSRP of the vehicle.
Yes.
You do not pay MSRP for new vehicles. You negotiate. That MSRP is being inflated today as a result of this number going up even more. That's the point that we're trying to make in today's show. That's what the data here from Automotive News points out so clearly, is that we are seeing a sharp increase in that extra line item, which, to be clear,
Yes,
ultimately gets factored into the total MSRP of a vehicle. I just hate sometimes how confusing our world is here with all the different prices and things like that. So I want to show an example there for what we're talking about.
nicely done.
Okay, anything else, Dad, here on the secret reasons why car prices keep going up? You were talking about some other stuff earlier. I'm sorry, I wanted to redirect and keep us on the price increases.
If you can pull up that list again.
Yeah, sure.
And scroll up to the top, and you will see that there are certain brands where, for instance, luxury brands. Look at BMW.
Yeah.
Look at Mercedes-Benz. Their destination charges haven't increased anywhere near what mass market brands have increased.
Yeah.
The increase in destination charges for the mass market brands, and think about this for a second. Mass market typically means there's more of them. And typically, the more volume you can promise somebody, the lower the cost they provide for their service. If they're shipping only one vehicle for the year, it might be $10 million. If they're shipping 10 million vehicles for the year, it might be $1,000 per vehicle. And so the mass market brands are going up significantly higher on the destination charges when they have the leverage to negotiate even lower prices for the destination fee, simply because they can promise these transporters greater volume. So that says to me that the manufacturers are just, many of the mass market brand manufacturers are just being greedy. I don't believe originally the destination fee was supposed to be a profit center for most of these manufacturers. I believe they have figured out a way, much like the dock fee for dealers, to turn it into a profit center.
Yeah.
And the ones that are abusing it the most are the mass market brands as opposed to the luxury brands.
A couple comments here, Dad. Rich has a great point. You say up 27% over the last 4 years. Tariffs have only been in effect for 8 to 10 months. And I think it's really important to call this out. We've seen destination charges going up, and up more recently, and Jerry calls it out here as well. And during his career, he never saw destination fees go up more than $100 a year. I'd love your comments on this as well. So this has been, Rich, an area where the manufacturers, to my dad's point, have been trying to capture more profits. This is just like a masking profits. Now the justification for, in the case of if I'm Ford or Chevrolet or Ram, going from $1,995 on my mass market pickup trucks to $2,595 on my mass market pickup trucks in 1 year.
Yes.
That's as clear a sign as ever that they're doing this in response to tariffs. But this has been a growing area of concern for consumers for a long time, because the OEMs just keep the original equipment manufacturers, the automakers, just keep increasing it more and more. So sorry, I wanted to pull that up. I don't know if you have additional thoughts there, Pops.
No, that and you know, I get it, because we can say, well, tariffs have only been around for a short period of time in comparison to the 4-year window that we're talking about. But the significant increases in the destination charges have been recent, and more recent, and more significant recently than they had been up until this point. And much like Jerry, I don't ever recall in 43 years of being in retail automotive where I saw destination charges go up more than $100 or $150 in a year. certainly not $600 in a year. And like I said, these are the mass market brands. These are the brands that have leverage over their transporters because they can promise them more vehicles to transport than Mercedes can or BMW can. Yet Mercedes, BMW, some of the other brands are much lower per vehicle to transport. Now, I know there are many out there who will say, yes, but vehicles are getting bigger, vehicles are getting heavier, so the cost to transport them has gone up because they're bigger, heavier vehicles. Yeah, I'm sure there is some truth to that, but they didn't suddenly get heavier and bigger to the point where the increase in the destination charge would be $600 year over year. It just we don't normally see increases like that in the industry.
Now, pull this up from Rich. He agrees, but he thinks it's more greed than just tariffs. And you know what? I for the most part, Rich, I agree. Although the most recent action we see here of the $500 increases on those pickup trucks, that makes me think it's a little more, oh crap, the tariff side. Oh, what lever do we pull as strategists at C-level executives at these automakers? Oh, what lever do we pull? Just make the destination fee higher. Who cares? No one will notice. No, we're noticing. I think that's the point of today's show.
And the other thing about that is, in so many cases, online advertised prices are the MSRP excluding the destination fee. So if there's a vehicle that's listed, say it's a pickup truck that's listed at $60,000 and it's excluding $2,595 of destination charge, well, suddenly that $60,000 pickup truck, when you go to look at it at the dealership, is $62,595. That's a significant surprise to the customer who came in expecting to look at a $60,000 pickup truck.
Yeah.
So the negative impact of inflating these destination fees, it just makes it harder and harder for customers to be able to afford these already overpriced vehicles to begin with.
All right, let's switch gears, Pops. Let's talk a little bit on the chip shortage front. Unfortunately, we are a few weeks away from feeling some ramifications of the Nexperia outage. Dad, give us an update here at a high level. Let's not go too into the weeds because there's another big story I want to talk about as well. But what's going on? Chip shortage 2.0. Give us the rundown here, pretty please, Pops, and why you care.
Well, there's a Chinese firm, Xperia, that produces the older style, less expensive, less robust chips that many of the manufacturers still need and utilize today when it comes to their vehicles. Things, and the chips might control things like windshield wipers and windows and things like that. And because they're the older generation, less profitable chips to be made, there isn't a lot of backup chips available from other manufacturers. And the Chinese government is insisting that they look very closely at where they're exporting these chips to. And already there's been some issues that they're trying to resolve in Europe for European production. And according to this article, we could be 2 to 4 weeks away from the chip shortage negatively impacting manufacturing for automobiles and trucks in this country. And so just as we see inventories building up again, and we're thinking, okay, we could end up more in a buyer's market than a seller's market, if this chip shortage truly does happen in the next 2 to 4 weeks, and production is lost and production is turned off for some vehicles, well, then inventories are going to go back down. Leverage is going to go back to the dealers. And ultimately, the customer who wants something is going to pay more to get it, which ultimately makes it even less affordable for less people.
That is the thing that's what we're keeping our eyes on is will new car prices go back up because these semiconductors, chips are not being produced, and that will ultimately impact the amount of new vehicles that are being produced. That being said,
Yes.
still a couple weeks away, so we'll keep you posted on it. And right now, the inventory situation and supply demand situation favors car shoppers more than it favors dealers. That is different for every brand, but the broad strokes analysis of the industry right now is you have way more leverage today buying a new or used car than you did earlier this year or even in the most recent past few years. If this chip shortage turns into something like it did a couple of years ago, like 4 or 5 years ago, then we could be talking about a very different tune, one that is much more of a seller's market and not a buyer's market. That being said, we'll keep you posted on it, and I thought it was worth sharing that. The other story I wanted to talk about this morning, Dad, comes by way of Volkswagen. There was an analysis done that suggests that Volkswagen is going to fall $11 billion short of what they need from a cash perspective next year. You can see it right here. According to a report from Europe, internal reviews suggest the Volkswagen Group could be more than $11 billion short of their free cash flow it needs to continue operating past 2026.
Wow.
Dad, if Volkswagen runs out of money, which Porsche, actually, we didn't even talk about it last week. Porsche lost money for the first time in their company's history in one of the quarters. This is big news. If Volkswagen runs out of money, it also comes on the heels of some other reporting talking about Stellantis potentially wanting to divvy up assets there. You and I have been talking about for a while a potential shakeup and restructuring in the auto industry. But I'll shut up for a second here. What did you make of this? An $11 billion projected shortfall at VW.
Well, if I was running VW, I guess I'd be looking to increase my destination charges even more. Because apparently the solution to everything is to just increase your destination charges. Listen, $11 billion is a lot of money. I don't know. I don't know how you could do long-term planning and not realize until, I don't know, yesterday. Looks like we could have an $11 billion shortfall in cash by next year. I mean, you would have to have seen this coming.
Well, let's do a little bit of we always balance the micro and the macro here on the CarEdge channel. Dad, let's go. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go for this analysis?
San Diego.
All right, give me a second. San Diego zip code 91911. 91911. Cool. So now we're going to go to San Diego. I don't need to be nationwide. I'll do within 100 miles. We're in Chula Vista, so near San Diego. Dad, what do you want to do? A VW, a Volkswagen, what?
What's their most popular? A Jetta?
Well, based on inventory, it looks like here it'd be the Tiguan. The Tiguan's going to be the one they have the most inventory. So this is Volkswagen's best-selling car, most inventory. Let's just click into one. The first one here, I want to get a sense for what's going on the ground market conditions. So 2025 Volkswagen Tiguan, we're in San Diego, California. The MSRP is almost $32,000. That seems approachable. The dealer invoice price is $30,687. The dealer discount should be between $2,500 and $3,200. Drum roll, please. Holy cow. We do these live. We do not plan this stuff, okay? 1,046 days supply of inventory. Dealers in the San Diego area have only sold 8 of these vehicles in the last 45 days, yet those same dealers have 186 of them for sale right now. So, Dad, just going macro, the headline reads, $11 billion cash shortfall looms. We're not even talking about VW's strategy of going electric, which has ended up biting them in the butt. We're looking at their vehicle with the most inventory and in the San Diego market, and it has 1,000 days supply. If you're managing a Volkswagen dealership, Dad, what are you doing? You're taking discounts left and right on these things.
If I'm managing a Volkswagen dealership in the San Diego area, I'm sharing my resume with non-Volkswagen dealers, hoping to get a job at a dealership. I don't know where they can actually sell some cars. Perhaps, and I don't know, but I'm assuming that the Tiguan S is the base Tiguan. And if that's the case, that would indicate to me, unfortunately, and I don't understand this for the life of me, but that would indicate to me that base vehicles that are not particularly well equipped as far as a lot of extras is not what the public is willing to buy. And that is unfortunate, because when and as we talk about an affordability crisis, when there are vehicles that are affordable but aren't equipped as nicely as perhaps the customers would like, they pass on them.
Well, Dad, that's the Tiguan, and to your point, a base one. But let's come back here, and let's say they were all in on EVs. You want to look at what the ID4, the ID Buzz. Look at this bus. There's 144 of them. Let's look at this bus.
Oh my God!
$72,000.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, Volkswagen's got an $11 billion projected cash shortfall next year. One of their big bets was on EVs. One of their big bets was on this retro ID Buzz van. $72,596 MSRP. The invoice price is $69,692. We don't have a target discount on this one. I'll ask the team why that is shortly here. But let's go down and let's look. And there you go. There's your day's supply for your big bet, expensive new EV. 333 days supply for those of you that listen to the podcast and don't tune in live here on YouTube. Those dealers in San Diego have only sold 5 of these in the last 45 days, yet they have 37 for sale. So again, another example, macro $11 billion shortfall. The automaker doesn't even care if the dealer sells it initially, because they make money when they wholesale it to the dealer, but eventually they do care because the dealers start to complain. The dealers won't take new inventory. I mean, this is 2 total polar opposite examples of why Volkswagen's in trouble.
Think of how crazy that is. We're talking Southern California. We're talking the EV capital of the United States, California. Okay, there are more EVs sold in California than anywhere. And in California, they have almost in Southern California, in the San Diego area, they have almost a 1-year supply of the ID Buzz on the ground. That is, if you can't sell those there, then I suppose I should say, if you can't sell them there, you can't sell them anywhere. Okay, that is just pure insanity to me. In the EV capital of this country, that they can't sell that EV.
And Dad, again, we only spent a second mentioning it, but Porsche lost $1.1 billion. And a lot of that was because of all their EV ambitions that are now facing setbacks. Porsche, obviously a part of Volkswagen here. So yeah, it's really interesting to see what's going on. And we didn't even touch on it too much, but those rumors about what's going on at Stellantis, I think you and I may end up looking like some really smart guys next year when we start to see some of these automakers divvy up their assets, divvy up their brands, and start to restructure. And I think it's really important for our community to know, the general theme here as we head into the end of the year is it is a buyer's market. Some of these Volkswagen products, I'm not saying you go into the dealership and you negotiate with the salesperson and say, did you know Volkswagen's supposed to lose $11 billion or not have $11 billion worth of cash to sustain operations next year? The salesperson doesn't care. Use the other tactics we've taught you to negotiate the deal, but have in your back pocket the knowledge that they need to sell that car. They need to move the metal because there's pressure at the dealership level and obviously pressure coming from the manufacturer. Dad, you've worked for some brands that have struggled to sell cars. What are the conversations like between you, the sales manager, and your area rep, your factory rep, the manufacturing rep? I can't imagine they were pleasant.
No, they're not pleasant. And I remember some of the conversations where the factory rep would look at me and he'd point his finger at me and he'd go, well, what are you doing to move these units? And I would look at him and I go, every time you point your index finger at me, asking me what I'm doing, you're pointing 3 fingers at yourself. Ask yourself the same question. What are you as the manufacturer doing to create enough excitement for this product for people to want to come in and buy it? It is not my job to create that excitement. It is the manufacturer's job to create the excitement. Once they've created that excitement, then it is my job to say, now that you're excited about that POS, you need to buy that POS here at Gotcha Motors.
So think about all that stress that's going on right now. And then you as the customer come in and you're the beautiful, incredible opportunity to actually finally move one of these pieces of metal. This is why we continue to reinforce buyer's market instead of seller's market. And obviously, if you watch today's show, you're more knowledgeable about where some of the secret price increases are coming from with those manufacturer destination charges. Dad, let's come here from Matthew. Really appreciate the kind contribution, Matthew. Nobody wants the Volkswagen bust. I see what he did there. Don't listen to Janice. They all want Porsches. Picking mine up in Donnerstag. Picking mine up in Donnerstag in Leipzig. Don't know what that means. Thursday. Zach, great marathon. Let's freaking go. Well, congratulations to you, Matthew, on picking up your new Porsche. That sounds really fun.
Yeah, Leipzig, Germany.
Leipzig, Germany. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. Maybe they'll make him run 26.5 miles to get to the car. I don't know.
I kind of doubt it. So, Dad, let's recap here. If you're in the market to buy a car and you watch today's show, what are the takeaways you should be taking away from today?
That prices are going up, and the reason prices are going up is the total price of the vehicles going up primarily because there's been significant increases in the destination charges. The manufacturers are doing the best that they can to keep the base MSRPs relatively close to what they have been. If we don't suffer from a chip shortage 2 to 4 weeks from now, and we don't suffer from production losses due to that impending chip shortage, and if inventories continue to climb, which we suspect that they will, then utilizing market day supply and on-hand inventories, you should still have leverage let me rephrase that. As the buyer, you always have leverage. And the reason you always have leverage as the buyer is because the seller isn't going to sell the stuff to themselves. They need you, the customer. Now, sometimes the seller takes the position, well, there's more customers than there are vehicles. That's not the case right now, unless it's Toyota or Lexus. So you have the leverage. You are there trying to help them out. They're not trying to help you out. So don't ever forget that most important 2-letter word, no. So you keep working on a price that is acceptable to you. And if they don't get there, just say, as Nancy Reagan used to say, God bless her soul, just say no.
Yeah, and a couple comments.
Drugs. This is to the high prices.
Just around Toyota and Lexus, you still can get better deals or worse deals. So definitely do your work there. It's not an excuse to not put in the work. Dad, let's remind everyone one more time, CarEdge.com. Fourth quarter, folks, we're gearing up. We're busier than ever before. $300 off our car buying service, 30% off CarEdge Pro. If you click onto the car buying service, a couple things. One, get a free consultation. Learn more and see if this is even a good fit for you as you contemplate buying a vehicle, and meet our team. Meet the incredible team behind the scenes that are helping hundreds of customers every single month. Learn more back at CarEdge.com. CarEdge Pro, watch the different videos, but ultimately what this is giving you is all of the data that you need to be informed, as well as the AI agent to do initial outreach to dealerships. This is best for those of you that want to do it yourself. Get access to those tools back at CarEdge.com. Now, my dad mentioned it at the beginning of the show. Yesterday, I ran in the 50th anniversary Marine Corps Marathon. It's the 50th year they've been running this marathon. What an incredible opportunity to run through the nation's capital. Dad, as you'll see here, I'll scroll down just a little bit. My time was 3:23 and 36 seconds. So really excited about that. I also raced in a way, Dad, where I tried to set a half marathon personal best on the second part of the race. I came up about 40 seconds short, but I was definitely running fast at the end there. And what a beautiful course. What a beautiful race. And I will share, I got my bib literally at 5:45 morning of the race. These are some text messages back and forth with friends. Here's a quick video of me running by in a second here. Wait for it. There you go. There I am. Really happy to be out there, sort of, me and some friends. And yeah, I took a red-eye flight back from California that morning and landed at BWI Airport at 4:45 a.m. So I actually don't know if I got the 3 hours and 13 minutes of sleep my watch says I got, and had a lot of fun out there. That's me and my friend Dinu, who helped me get the bib so that I could run the race. So it was a hell of an experience, Dad. It was pretty crazy to run that race and not know I was going to run it until, I don't know, an hour before it started. It was pretty wild.
And you beat your personal best by what, about 15 minutes?
About 12 minutes. Yeah.
12 minutes?
Yeah. So I ran that race last year. I also didn't really know I was going to run the race last year, but I knew 2 days before that I was going to run the race last year, and I ran it in 3:35, right around there. And then this year was 3:23. I think I could actually do like 3:10 probably if I ran 75 miles last week. I had no clue I was going to run a marathon.
But apparently the key to you running fast is not getting any sleep the night before.
Adrenaline, man. I mean, I slept 12 hours last night, but I had a lot of adrenaline. That's for sure. I had a ton of adrenaline. If any of you are on Strava or do endurance sports, stuff like that, I'm just Chefska over on Strava. It's really fun. I love sharing what I'm up to over there. Thank you, Matthew. Appreciate the kind contribution here. Zach, Donnerstag is Donner's God of Thunder Day. Hence, Thursday comes from Thor's Day, getting cultured on CarEdge. Appreciate that. Love learning something new. We appreciate it, Matthew. Okay, Pops, let's call it a show.
Okay.
Do it all again tomorrow. Does that sound good to you?
What's tomorrow? Tuesday. I'm free.
Oh, I also should mention, had the first Lung Cancer Foundation of America board meeting last weekend. That's why I was over in California. Guys, I am so excited to be working with this team. So for those of you, if anyone's been touched by lung cancer, consider making a contribution to Lung Cancer Foundation of America. But Dad, holy cow, am I fired up to help them grow, to help us. I gotta remember to help us grow.
Yeah. You're on the board, buddy.
On the board,
it's not them, it's you. Damn it, to help us grow the amount of contributions from
that fund early stage research. So really good stuff. Anyway, okay, we're back tomorrow, folks. I love you, Pops.
I love you too. Nicely done, young man, on both fronts, the LA front and the Marine Corps Marathon front. Proud of you.
Appreciate it, Pops. Love you, Dad.